Namaste, my friends, and welcome back to the podcast. This week, we are keeping it simple. And I'm doing that intentionally because there's been a lot going on in the world lately. A lot of big weather events, a lot of illness, a lot of things happening in the news. And all of this external chaos or upheaval is leading to a lot of internal chaos and upheaval, feeling overwhelmed, feeling scared, feeling frustrated, angry, confused. And that's normal. That's natural. That is what happens. But in yoga, we believe that moving in the world from that place, from the place of fear, overwhelm, anxiety, frustration, doesn't produce the best results in our lives. That from that place, we don't make the best choices. We don't have access to our intuition. We're not in communication with the divine. We are very unable to see the greater possibilities that exist around us. It's a place where we are in protective mode, right? Our nervous systems are on fire and they are thinking one thing and one thing only, which is to protect us from physical and emotional harm. And so, one of the best things that we can do for ourselves when we recognize, when we become aware that that's where we are, that we are in that state of overwhelm, fight or flight, internal chaos, however you want to label it, is to come back to center. And coming back to center often is simpler and quicker than you think it might be. And that's why I'm keeping it simple today. First and foremost, on this podcast, or whether I'm standing in front of a full class of students on their yoga mats, I see myself as a yoga teacher. And as a yoga teacher, I am here to hold space for you, not to give you answers, not to comment on world events or give you my opinions, but to create a space that feels safe enough for your nervous system to relax so that you can listen to your truth, that you can hear the messages that your body is trying to send you, that you can hear your intuition and your inner guide, and that you can get clarity, peace, presence, and possibility, that those things can rise up from below the surface of your mind and into your awareness. And that happens when we feel safe. And safety often comes from returning to the basics, returning to the beloved familiar, right? Not there is good familiar and bad familiar. So in this case, I'm talking about those things that are both familiar and positive. And I often do this in my class as well on the mat. Sometimes it's really fun to go in and do the funky poses and the fun transitions and make the class super challenging but playful. But sometimes it's wonderful just to keep it simple. Very common poses, no crazy transitions, moving slowly, centering on the breath. These are all positive familiars, right? Beloved familiars. They are good for our bodies, they're good for our minds. And because we are so familiar with them, our nervous system can settle into them so very quickly. We have those neural pathways really dug deep. And so we can do that off the mat as well, right? The mat is always just a place of learning and growth and preparation for the real world, right? What we do off of the mat. So today I am going to guide you through a very simple meditation that you can take with you and do anywhere, anytime, that will hopefully help you come back to that sense of safety, that sense of openness and spaciousness, help you come back to the present moment when life feels really chaotic and really uncomfortable. And you want to try to settle into more internal peace. Okay, so wherever you are, make sure that you are safe, or else I invite you to pause this and come back when you can do it. But if you're in a safe environment, then find yourself a comfortable seat, or you could lay down if that sounds better to you. Just someplace where you'll have a few minutes where you won't be disturbed. And once you find your spot, make sure you're comfortable, right? I invite you to be comfortable. Maybe that means if you're laying down, putting a blanket, a rolled up blanket under the knees or a pillow under the head. If you were choosing a seated position, maybe you put a little pillow behind your back to support your back. Maybe cross legs feels comfortable, but maybe it feels better to keep your feet on the floor. Palms can be if you're laying down by your side, if you're seated in your lap, facing up or facing down, whatever feels better in your arms. And then I just invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and then taking long, slow exhales out of the mouth. Take a few of these. Don't be afraid to make some noise on those exhales, really sighing away any tension you might be feeling in the body. There's no rush. Deep inhales through the nose, expanding your lungs in every direction. And then slow exhales out of the mouth. You may notice that on those exhales, you can actually feel your nervous system start to down regulate. You can feel tension leaving your body, maybe in places you didn't even know you were holding it. And now allow the breath to return to normal. Just inhaling and exhaling through your nose. You don't need to control the breath in any way. Just let it be what it wants to be. And observe the breath. Maybe you feel the chest rising as you inhale and falling as you exhale. Maybe you feel cool air entering your nose on the inhale and exiting on the exhale, warmer than when it went in. Maybe you feel it in your belly or your back. It doesn't matter where you were feeling it with the most intensity. Just being curious, observing. Be aware now of how your body feels. Any thoughts that are present, and any emotions that might be sitting on the surface right now. And as you take your next breath out, set a gentle intention to let go of whatever isn't needed in this moment. You can pick it up later if you need to. But right now, set the intention to set it down, to put it aside. Now, with each inhale, simply say in your mind, I am breathing in. And with each exhale, I am breathing out. Again, you don't need to control the breath. Just let it be what it is. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. If you find at any time that the mind has wandered, that's okay. Just gently bring it back to the breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Know that I am watching the time, and I will call you back in a few moments. Beginning to come back to the space around you, maybe feeling the surface that's holding you, maybe listening for sounds in the room around you. Releasing that internal statement of I am breathing in and I am breathing out. And when you feel ready, gently opening your eyes, just taking in the room around you. There's no need to move just yet. You can stay in stillness. Or if your body's calling for it, begin making small movements with the toes and the fingers, maybe rolling the neck. And just for a moment, taking inventory of your internal landscape and noticing, is there a difference? Is there more peace? Is there more calm? Is there more space? Does the room look a little brighter when you opened your eyes than it did when you first closed them? Again, there are no right or wrong answers, and I'm not here to give you any answers. I'm here to hold the space, to invite the curiosity, and to help you uncover your own truth. Now, would love to offer a community meditation. I think that meditation that happens in community is very powerful. And that actually is not just a thought of mine, that's been proven by research. Um, People who meditate together, like people who pray together, have big impacts on themselves and on the world. So I will be offering a free 1 month weekly meditation community. I will send, if you are on my email list, you will get the invitation through an email. And there is a link in the show notes where you can sign up. It will be over Zoom. We will meet on Friday afternoons. We will meditate together, spend some time in community. It won't be long, probably 15, 20 minutes. But we can come together and find the peace that we hopefully cultivated here on this podcast in community. And once again, not only have impact on ourselves, but on the world around us. I hope you have a beautiful week, my friends. And if you are feeling all the things that we talked about, know that I see you. I love you. You matter. And there is a pathway back to peace.